Hello, my name is Mel Sykes and I work for the Fairbanks Soil and Water Conservation District, and I'm going to show you today how to build a floating tank hydroponic system. We have one going here in our office and it's super easy, simple, doesn't require a lot of maintenance, and it's really fun to grow your own food in your own home. Okay, so the first step you need to do is lay out all of your supplies that you need for your floating hydroponic system. First thing you're going to need for this is a tank of some sort. You might want to use a fish tank. This is a 5-gallon tank. Or you can try a 10-gallon or even a 20-gallon tank. Those work great as well. You might not want to use a fish tank. You can also use a storage bin. They won't, it'll be harder to see algae if you use a storage bin, so you're going to have to peek in there every now and again to make sure you don't have algae buildup. The next thing you're going to need is the foam that the plants are sitting in, and that is this wonderful, you can use blue foam, or this is a purple foam, but it needs to be closed cell foam that you can buy at the hardware store that you can easily put holes into for your plant sites. So sitting in the foam is going to be something called a net pot. Now you can buy a net pot. They're pretty easy to use and easy to find, very inexpensive. They're these little cups and they have holes in the sides. You can make your own using plastic cups. That's perfectly fine. The holes allow the roots to go through the pot into the water while they're sitting in it. So that's very important. And these net pots sit inside the foam, and then inside the net pots you're going to need to put your plants. And you will start your plants ahead of time in something called rock wool. Rock wool is the media of choice for hydroponics because it's inert, it doesn't add any nutrition to it whatsoever, but it does provide the stability that the plant needs. You can get your plants started before you start your system by getting this wet, completely soaked with water, putting it either on a cookie tray or in a plant tray, and then in each one of those little holes that you see, you're going to put a seed. So you want to take your seeds and put one seed as you can, maybe 2 or 3, but no more than that, in each one of those holes to get it started. Put it on your plant shelf and wait until you see them sprout and you get a couple of leaves. The ones that sprout are what you're going to put in the system. The next thing you're going to need for your system is an air pump. This is very, very simple to get. You buy them at any pet store aquarium that has aquarium supplies. So these go in a fish tank. You don't actually put this in the fish tank. You do that and you're talking about an electrical hazard. So don't ever submerge this in the water in the fish tank or the tank that you are using. So this will add air to the water and allow movement for the water to keep algae from growing and give your plants the air that they need to grow. So the pump looks like this, and what you need to get for your pump is an air line that goes to the air stone, which this is what sits in your tank. This will add bubbles to the water, again providing movement of the water as well as air to the roots. So the next step is to cut down your foam that you are going to be using for your floating platform. So the first thing you're going to need to do is measure the inside of your tank, not the outside edge. You want to measure the inside because this platform needs to be in here inside. You need to be able to get it in, and it also needs to be able to move around a little bit. So it shouldn't fit right up against the sides. So I'm going to take a ruler or a measuring tape and measure the inside area of your tank opening. This one is 15 inches long and 7.5 inches wide, going all the way up to right here. Now, I don't want to do that exact measurement for my floating platform. I want to make it about a centimeter smaller than that, or 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure on my foam, use a Sharpie, and mark it. All right, this one is just about the right size, this length. It to be about 7 inches this way, so I'm going to mark it here. Draw a line with the Sharpie, and then I'm going to cut it. Now you can cut it a couple of different ways. If you are a young person, I get some help from an adult for this. You can do it with a box cutter. You can do it with even just a regular old kitchen knife. Just got to take your time, but I like box cutter myself because it goes nice and fast. I often use the ruler on the box cutter so that I keep it as a straight line. And I'm just going to cut down here. The nice thing about foam is even if you just do it a little bit of a cut, you can typically just pop it and it comes right off. All right, so I cut it down to the right size. I'm going to test, make sure before I do any more cutting that it will fit inside my tank. Sit this in here. All right, I know it's going to be able to sit and float in there. So perfect. The next thing I'm going to do is add the plant sites to this. And how do I do that? I'm going to take the cups, the met pots that I have, and sort of gauge how many can fit in here with a little bit of space. We don't want them right up next to each other. We want them to be a little bit spread out. Something this size, I wouldn't go any more than 6 on there because then your plants might have trouble where their leaves are shading each other. So I want to put my cups on there, and then I'm going to take my Sharpie and trace the outline of the cups on there. So I take my Sharpie and just do a cut on that hole right there. And I would do that for all 6 of them. Now the next step is to cut out those holes. You can again do that with a really simple kitchen butter knife, or you can use a drill. You can use a drill with something called a hole saw. So this is my drill, and this is a hole saw. Hole saw has a drill bit right down the center, and it will cut a nice hole out of the foam for me, just the right size. So I take my hole saw, put it in the center of that hole, and the hole saw is not going to be right up to the edge of where you see the plant cup outline. It's going to be a little bit further in. All right, and one of the things that's really important is don't ever do this just on a table. Make sure you got a piece of extra wood or scrap wood underneath it when you're drilling your holes so that you don't go through your table, which is very unpleasant. So the net pot sits right in that hole that you cut. Now, if you're going to do this with a kitchen knife or just a sharp knife, that hole that you traced for the cup is too wide for the cup will fall right through. So you want to make another little circle on the inside of that so that the cup will sit a little bit in. You want to do a little inside circle and then cut that part out. Don't cut the whole big thing out. So the next step is getting your tanks set and ready to go. I highly recommend you get just a simple small bag of aquarium rocks for the bottom. It'll help keep your water much clearer, because if you don't have the rocks, you'll get floating plant parts all through your system, and it doesn't really look that pleasant to look at. So get yourself some aquarium rocks, rinse them in a bowl first, and then you can add them to your tank. simple at the bottom. And I picked nice bright colored ones so that it'll look really nice in my tank. Now I'm going to straighten them out a bit. Doesn't matter because I'm going to add water to this and it's going to move it around a bit. And then I'm going to take my air stone that I had gotten out of its package, ready to go. And I'm going to attach that tube that goes to the air pump. And I'm going to lay that down in the tank. I like to put it along the edge so that it's not straight in the middle, so that it actually forces the water to move around in the tank. But that's me. And then I'm going to fill it with some water. I've got a 2-gallon bucket here full of water. I'm just going to gently pour that in there. Now, I told you this is a 5-gallon tank, so I would fill it all the way up here, but I'm not going to do that because I think you got the idea. Then I would go in here and redistribute the rocks again. Then I can put my floating platform with the plants in it, ready to go. So I've got it setting right here. I've got my net pots. I've got my rock wool sitting in there. And then this just gets put in just like that. And then I'm going to find a nice stable spot for this, plug it in. And then the next thing that you need, because plants need light, water, they need air, and they need nutrients as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some nutrients to the water, making sure that it's ready to go. Now there are a number of different nutrient solutions out there for hydroponics. You can use any straight plant fertilizer that you can use, but there are some that are very specific to hydroponics, which is great. You want to look for a hydroponic nutrient that is for growth or leaves. Don't buy a hydroponic nutrient that is for flowers. That doesn't work for this system. So you want to use nutrients that are for growth. And on the back of it gives you directions for different types of system. If you're doing houseplants, it's one direction. If you're doing a hydroponic system, there's a direction on here that says how much per gallon to put in there. This particular nutrient requires 2 to 3 teaspoons per gallon for a nutrient. So I know I put 2 gallons in here, so I would put 6 teaspoons in here to get it started. It's always a good idea to use the maximum. As you are replacing water, as your system is running, you want to do a little bit less each time. So the final thing you're going to need for your hydroponic system is some kind of light. Now you can put this on a shelf and put a light above it, or you can create a light stand or buy a light stand for it to hang over the top. The nice thing about fish tanks is when it comes to fish, there's all kinds of funky light systems for fish tanks that you can buy that just sits on here, which you just leave out the platform that sits on the tank for most fish tanks and just have the light. That's what we have in our system behind me. Works great. Or you can have it on a table with a homemade light stand, which we did for our plants. And this is one made out of wood, just so that the light can be right over the tank. You can make it so that the light can be lowered and raised based on the height of the plants. But just some kind of simple system. Don't rely just on sunlight. You will get what is called leggy plants. They will reach for the sunlight and they will not be healthy and they won't taste good. So you have to have light close to the plants. I recommend LED lights. They work wonderful. Even just a simple shop light works just fine. You don't have to buy a $300 light for your system. Something simple you buy at the department store or at the hardware store works just great. So good luck with setting up your system. The directions and step-by-step instructions and supply list is here on the Fairbanks Soil and Water Conservation District website. If you have any questions about your system, or if something's happened with your system that you your leaves are looking funny, give us a call. We're happy to troubleshoot with you and walk you through everything. Again, good luck with your system, and thanks for watching.